We study about prism. Already we know about prism, the prism formula, how it has been derived. So some more details we are going to study here. What is prism? If you ask me, see here, if you find a condition, when a ray of light is passing through two refracting surface which makes an angle theta or A, where that A angle we call it as angle of prism. If you find that concept, what is that? When light is traveling through two refracting surface which are making an angle with particular angle, let's say A, where that angle I call it as angle of the prism. Now this material will behave like a prism. Correct? Suppose I take one glass slab. If I take one glass slab, imagine that I am sending one light like this. This light will travel like this will be 90 degree and it will travel like this. Correct? Now this portion, if you observe this portion, it will behave like a prism itself. Correct? It is behaving like a prism. So what is the condition to be satisfied to use the concept of prism? The light must make two refraction through the surface, which are making a particular angle theta. If refraction is happening between two surfaces which makes an angle theta, and at that point of view you can use the concept of prism. Got it? This is one example. Many like this I can give. I can give many examples like this. If I take one object like this, so when light is traveling, so it will travel like this. It is traveling like this. When light travels like this, what is happening? This will be a concept of prism again. Correct? No? We can utilize it as a concept of prism. So this is standard thing. What we will take? Standard thing. We are going to take a prism, principal section of a prism. Correct? Principal section of a prism. To have this concept, what I said, two rays of with the refracting surface must make an angle theta. If that light ray passes through that type of surfaces which makes an angle theta, that is a prism. Now I am taking one principal section of this. I will take one principal section. Imagine one light ray is coming here. Let's say angle of incidence I1. Now think that this is a normal line. This is N1 and this is I1 means this angle is I1 I am talking. This ray will get refracted like this. Let's say this is R1. Again here refraction will happen. Why? Because the medium is A, both sides. Here medium is mu. Here medium is mu. So this will act like the R2 is, what is R2? R2 is the angle of incidence for this surface. Got it? Now this will get bent away. Got it? No? This will get bent away. So this, let us take this as angle as I2. What is that? I2. Got it? No? So here, this is the step. Let us consider this is A, B, this is C. This is AB surface, this is AC surface. That thing. Let us consider then here on point P and here on point Q. While talking, I have to mention these things. That is why I am mentioning these points. And what, anything is there? No. See here, if you talk about deviation through surface A1, if I extend this line, deviation to this line, so this will be dou 1. Correct? If I talk about deviation through second surface, after passing, what is the deviation? This is R2. This angle will be R2. If this angle is R2, what is that? This angle will be how much? This angle will be 2. So this is the deviation dou 2. Dou 2 is I2 minus R2. Dou 2 is I2 minus R2. From this point of the relations, so the direction already have took like this. From this point of relations, I am going to, what is that? Derive first total deviation. The light is going like this and it's coming like this. I will write, already I showed where the total deviation is formed. The total deviation in the prism is given by deviation through first surface plus deviation through second surface. Deviation through first surface plus deviation through second surface. What is the deviation through first surface, if you ask me? Look at it. What is the deviation through first surface? Dou 1 is I1 minus R1. Dou 2 is I2 minus R2. So the total deviation I1 minus R1 plus I2 minus R2. So deviation becomes I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. Got it now? One equation. So now look at this triangle APQ. From a triangle APQ, this is a normal line, this is 90 degree. So what is this angle? This angle from APQ triangle, if you see APQ, if this is R1, this will be 90 minus R1, this will be 90 minus R2. This is what? Angle of prism A. This is the angle of prism A. I didn't say about it. This is the angle of prism A. Correct now? So triangle APQ can be written as, what is that? This plus angle, this plus this angle. So angle A plus this angle, how much? 90 minus R1, 90 minus R1 plus 90 minus R2 will be equal to 180. So A will be equal to R1 plus R2. From equation 1 and 2, this angle plus this angle plus this angle is 180 degree. So from this relation I got A is equal to R1 plus R2. This is one important relation. This is one important relation for us. From equation 1 and 2, I can write dou is equal to I1 plus I2. Where I1 is the incident ray, I2 is the emergent ray angle. Will be equal to minus A. Will be equal to minus A. This is another standard equation you have to use. Total deviation which happens on the prism, how much? I1 plus I2 minus A. Got it? These are the things you can do on this prism. Still more what you can do. These are some of the equations I am bringing using geometries. I brought up certain equations on this prism. Still more what I can do is I can use Snell's law. I can use Snell's law at surface AB. Snell's law at AB and AC. I can apply even Snell's law. Just for see how I am making ready with the weapons for this concept. These are the things I am preparing. Correct now? Then I am preparing for what are the things concept are happening here. I can still apply Snell's law here. From first surface this is A. So I can write if I consider this is mu1 and this is mu2. Look at it. First medium, second medium. I can write 1 into at AB surface what will happen? 1 into sin I1 will be equal to what? Mu into sin R1. Correct now? Mu into sin R1. Again in second surface, mu into sin R2 will be equal to 1 into sin I2. Correct now? Yes or no? So from that relation, you can make still more things. Find mu is equal to sin I2 by R2. Mu is equal to sin I1 by R1. Again you join them. What is that? So like this you have to take. Now certain more conditions we will study. We will study the concept of minimum deviation. This is total deviation. See, as angle of incidence is moving up, it will go down or something will happen. So what if totally what I am trying to tell? from this formula you have understood. If I1 is becoming more, dou is becoming more. Correct? Na? If angle of prism is more, what will happen? This dou is going to reduce. From this relation, you see, if I1 is increasing, total deviation of this light will be increasing. If I1 is increasing, I1 means this light is increasing, deviation is increasing. So I need to find that analyzation. So I will take one graph here. What is that graph? For in the concept of minimum deviation, I will take one graph. Or I will wait. I will rub this and I will write it down better. See here, I will draw one graph. This graph has to be there in your mind compulsory. Got it now? This is the graph between dou and incident. I could have, till I complete all the expression, I could have written this graph somewhere here, but unfortunately I don't have space. Very important graph this is. See, whatever I am analyzing, if you are listening and making notes from this class, you make sure that this diagram and this graph has to be at one side. See here, if I am increasing angle of incidence, the graph was supposed to find like this. It was found like this. What it tells you means, if I took up this position, this is the position where you will have maximum deviation. Correct? No? This is the position where you will have maximum deviation. This is the graph line which tells you that for every value of deviation, there are two angle of incidence. Correct? No? This is dou deviation and this is angle of incidence. For every one value of deviation, you got two values of incidence. Got it now? If this was the maximum deviation and this one was the minimum deviation. Let us take another deviation dou here. Dou is the average value. Got it now? If I talk about these two, this is the maximum incidence value. How much? Maximum incidence value will be 90 degree. Are you understanding? And this value was 90 degree because maximum deviation will happen. When maximum deviation will happen? When this angle will have maximum. Or you see here, this is the last value angle of incidence where you will find maximum deviation. So what could be this angle? This angle could be 90 degree. It has to be, not could be, it has to be 90 degree. Correct? At this point angle I1 is 90 degree. Got it now? At this point I1 is 90 degree. Then what about this point? At this point I2 will be 90 degree. What is that? I2 is 90 degree. What is I2? This is I2. Either emergent ray becomes 90 degree or incident ray becomes 90 degree. Both 90 degree possible is there? Not here. Not possible. Actually because possibility is too high. Correct? But anyhow, when you will find maximum deviation, when either I2 will be having 90 degree, I2 value will be having 90 degree. Here this is the graph of I1 usually. Correct? This is the graph of angle of incidence. So this will act like angle of incidence. So I2, when I2 is 90 degree, still you will find maximum deviation. When I1 is 90 degree, when I2 is 90 degree, you will find two maximum deviation. This is what? Dou minimum. This value we call at this point I1 will be equal to I2. This condition you have to use. At point of dou minimum, the incident ray I1 will be equal to emergent ray from the graph. That is why, how can you say? Because this value, there is only one value which satisfies. See, why how it is happening like this means? Because of the principle of reversibility. What is that principle of reversibility means? If I send a ray of light like this, correct now? If I send the ray of light again in a backward direction, This I2 will act like an angle of incidence. This will act, angle I1 will act like an emergent ray. This is the principle of reversibility. It follows the same path as it was moving before. It follows the same path. That is why, if it is following the opposite path, maximum deviation I2 will be 90 degree. Yes or no? I2 will become 90 degree. So if it is reversing the path, means what will happen? When I2 is 90 degree, some point of I1 angle will be there. This angle of incidence will be. So I am telling at this point, even for small angle of incidence also, when emergent ray is 90 degree, you will find what is that? Maximum deviation and right. So here I1 is equal to I2 because only one value. Either you send a light ray like this or send a light ray like this. At this point I1 will be equal to I2. So that is what I am talking about. Deviation. Correct? Now, if I reverse the direction, it will follow the same path as it is coming before. That is why these two values are coming. Here only one value at this position, and if I take this one, what is that? There are two values for another dou I have taken. Let me take here dou. This is a dou. You see two positions of angle of incidence. If you ask me what is the values of this angle of incidence, if I take here I1 was x, I2 was y, in this case I1 will become y, I2 will become x. This is what the angle change will happen. Correct now? If this, for a particular deviation, if angle I1 was x and I2 was y, correct now? Again for the same deviation, if you reverse the ray, I1 will become y, I1 will become y and I2 will become x. Analyze this. This graph is very important. Got it now? This graph is very important. So from this graph, we'll try to find concept of minimum deviation. At minimum deviation, I1 and I2 are same. If this is the ray, then your angle of incidence is increasing. Correct now? Now this path, if you see, still you have your increasing angle of incidence. First deviation is going to reduce, then deviation is going to increase. But if you reverse the light, what will happen? Opposite to this is happening. That means for every value of one deviation, you got two values of angle of incidence. I said this before, enough for this. Correct now? Okay? Now we will come to the concept of minimum deviation. I told you to write this graph at a side. Very important graph it is. That is why at a side you write it down. If I talk about concept of minimum deviation, concept of minimum deviation. Concept of minimum deviation. So, what is the condition to happen for minimum deviation from the graph? From the graph, I can say, from graph, I1 must be equal to I2. I1 must be for minimum dou. For dou minimum, what is that? Dou minimum, I1 must be equal to, for dou minimum, I1 must be equal to I2. When I1 is equal to I2, what will happen? R1 will become R2. R1 will become R2. When R1 will become R2, this line, ray of light will be parallel to this base of the prism. You can check through geometrical condition. I said that. So when dou minimum is there, this will be the case. I1 will be equal to I2, R1 will be equal to R1. So what is the formula of dou? I1 plus I2 minus A, where A is R1 plus R2. So in this case, this formula, dou minimum will become what? 2I minus A. Correct now? 2I minus A. Why? Let us consider this as I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I, R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R. 2I minus A. A is equal to what? R1 plus R2 can be written as A is equal to 2R. From this I can write, these are the relations which are going to happen for minimum. From this relation, I can still write what? Refractive index of the medium. Refractive index of the medium. In this case, sin I by sin R. Sin I by sin R. Correct, no? When both angles are same, sin I by sin R. So, sin I by sin R means, from these two relations, what is I? Look at this. I can be written as, this can be written as sin of I is A plus dou minimum divided by 2 whole divided by, here value of R is what? A by 2. This is another standard form of refractive index. What is that? What is the standard form? Mu is equal to sin of A plus D dou m divided by 2 whole divided by, let me show you. This is one important relation to find the refractive index of the prism. It happens in concept of minimum deviation. It happens in the concept of minimum deviation. Still I can extend this. What I can extend is, I am going to rub this. Still I can extend this. What is that? If mu is equal to, for small prism, for thin prism means, what will happen? Thin prism means, angle of prism is less. For thin prism means, angle of A is small. For thin prism means, A is small. Got it, huh? For thin prism, A is small. When A is small, A is given by R1 plus R2. So R1 and R2 are small. When R1 and R2 are small, I1 and I2 are small. Correct now? I1 and I2 are small means I1 and I2 will be small. For all these conditions, this formula I can write sin divided by 2 dou minimum divided by 2 is nearly equal to A plus dou minimum divided by 2. Got it? A plus when angle of prism is small, these are the conditions which will happen, which is going to happen. So this will become the case. And sin of A by 2 nearly will become A by 2. So this equation, what it is going to happen is, mu is equal to, instead of sin A by 2, I can write A plus dou minimum by 2 whole divided by A by 2. Sorry, I didn't write 2. Whole divided by 2 whole divided by A by 2 getting cancelled. So this one will be what? Mu A is equal to A plus dou minimum, or dou minimum for thin prism is how much? Dou minimum will be equal to minimum deviation will be equal to minimum, not deviation, sorry, minimum deviation. Minimum deviation will be equal to how much? Mu minus 1 into A. This is also very important relation for us. Minimum deviation for thin prism, how much it is? Dou minimum is mu minus 1 into A, where mu is the refractive index of the glass tube. This is one of the what is that result. We'll talk about condition of grazing incidence. What is that? Condition of grazing incidence. Condition of grazing incidence. What do you mean by grazing incidence? Means if this angle becomes I1 becomes 90 degree, I1 becomes 90 degree, that is nothing but grazing incidence. When angle of I1 is 90 degree, the incident ray I call it as grazing incidence. When that I1 becomes 90 degree, what are other values are going to happen? Let us study. From Snell's law, when I1 becomes 90 degree, R1 I can call it as theta C. What is theta C? Theta C is critical angle. Theta C is critical angle. Yes or no? Yes or no? It is critical angle. Theta C is critical angle. And when R1 becomes theta C, see here, what is another definition I can write? R1 is equal to theta C. We know theta C is equal to sine inverse of 1 by mu. Sine inverse of 1 by mu. Total critical angle formula, sine theta C is equal to 1 by mu. Theta C is equal to sine inverse of 1 by mu. This is one expression. Then from angle R1 plus R2, R1 is theta C, so R2 will become A minus theta C. Correct? A minus theta C. Snell's law at phase C. Snell's law at AC surface. If you apply Snell's law at AC surface, mu into sine R2 will be equal to 1 into mu 1 into sine I2. Got it? From this relation, what is R2? A minus theta C. So mu into sine of A minus theta C will be equal to sine of I2. Got it? No? These are the results which are going to happen for condition of grazing incidence. If I1 becomes 90 degree, these are the things which are going to become. R2 value I found out. R1 value I found out, that is theta. Then I2 value I found out. All the angles value I found out. Got it now? If I talk about deviation, what will be the deviation then? Dou is equal to, where is that? Where I can write? Here only I will write. Dou is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. Correct, no? In this case, I1 is 90 degree means dou will become pi by 2 plus I2 minus 6. If you want to find I2, use this expression again. Got it, no? This is what dou which happens. Pi by 2, 90 degree. I1 is 90 degree. Got it? So let us study about what is that now? Grazing emergence. Grazing emergence means if this I2 is becoming 90 degree with the normal, here this is the normal line. This is the normal line. I didn't write the N2 is the normal line. For this, if this I2 becomes 90 degree, if I2 becomes 90 degree, that condition we call grazing emergence. So what are the things which are going to happen? Same thing, but in a little bit different fashion. What is that? In this case, I2 will become 90 degree. If I2 becomes 90 degree, what are the equations you can find? R2 will become theta C, where theta C, if this becomes 90 degree, R2 becomes theta C. When R2 becomes theta C, where theta C is, what is that theta C? Sine inverse of 1 by sine inverse of 1 by sine inverse of 1 by. So sine inverse of 1 by mu. A minus R2. This is one equation. Or I can write R1 is A minus theta C. Correct na? Apply Snell's law on AB. Snell's law on surface AB. 1 into sin I1 will be equal to 1 into sin I1 will be equal to 2. What is the mu into sin R? Mu into sin R. 1 into sin I1 is equal to mu into sin R. So this will become what? This will become what? What is the value of? Sorry, this is not R2, R1. This is R1. Sorry, this is R1. Correct now? So what is R1? R1 is A minus theta. So sin I1 will become mu into sin of A minus theta. What about deviation? If you talk about deviation, let me talk. Deviation for this is I1 plus I2 plus minus A, where I2 is what? Pi by 2. Dou is equal to pi by 2 plus I1 minus A. These are the expressions which are happening for condition of grazing emergence. Next we shall study condition for maximum deviation. Condition of maximum deviation. Let me stop this. Condition for maximum deviation from graph. Remember the graph. Look at the graph. Remember the graph or look at the graph. See here. From graph, when I1 is 90 degree, you found out what? Dou max. When I1 is 90 degree, dou max, dou is what? I1 plus I2 minus A. So dou max is going to become I1 is 90 degree, pi by 2 plus I2 minus A. This is the condition for maximum deviation. And if the light ray is reversed, I2 will become 90 degree. Again, dou max will become what? Dou max will become from here and right. Dou max will become now pi by 2 plus I1 minus A. This is one equation. This is one. Got it? Again, this looks like what? This looks like same like grazing emergence and grazing incidence. All the relations which are happening in grazing emergence and grazing incidence will come under this condition. At that time only you will find maximum deviation. When one of the I1 is 90 degree or I2 is 90 degree, that time you will have a maximum deviation. That point has to be remembered. Condition of no emergence of light. For any angle of incidence, the ray must not emerge from the prism. Got it now? For any, what is the condition here? If you send I1 with any angle, for any angle of incidence, what must be the condition of the emergence? What must be the condition of emergence? For any value of incidence, I value ranges from 1 to 90. 0 to 90, sorry, not 1 to 90, 0 to 90. So, maximum value of angle of incidence is 90 degree. So, if you look at the maximum deviation, you will find at I1. So, I1 at 90 degree. So, after that still I want more deviation, means this ray will become parallel. This is the possibility. Maximum deviation when I1 is 90 degree or I2 is 90 degree. Correct now? I2 is 90 degree, that is also maximum deviation. So I will consider here for any value means let us take the maximum value I got for I1 is 90 degree. Correct? The maximum value for I1 is 90 degree. When I1 is 90 degree, R1 also will become maximum. How much? R1 also becomes maximum because if you are increasing I1, R1 also will become maximum. That will be equal to theta, critical angle. When I1 I am getting 90 degree, R1 will become theta c, which is nothing but maximum angle for R1. When R1 becomes maximum, A is equal to R1 plus R2. When this R as A is a constant, A is the angle of the prism which remains same. Correct? So when R1 becomes maximum, R2 will become minimum. R2 minimum will be equal to how much? A minus R1. Correct? Na? What is R1 max? What is R1 max? R1 max is theta c. So R2 minimum, I can write here, R2 minimum will become A minus theta c. A minus theta c. So A minus theta c is R2 minimum. Next, when R2 minimum is A minus theta c, I can write another equation. What is that? To have no emergence, R2 must be greater than theta. If R2 is greater than theta c, if R2 minimum is how much? A minus theta c. So if R2 is greater than theta c, then this ray will not go out from the surface AC. This ray will not go out from the surface AC. This ray will get reflected somewhere here. When it happens when R2 is greater than theta c. When R2 is greater than theta c, what is R2 minimum? The minimum angle R2 where such that it must be greater than theta c. Because that is the maximum value of I1. When R2 is minimum, that will be maximum I1. When I1 decreases, R2 increases. Got it now? R2 increases. So the minimum value of R2 must be greater than theta. So this R2 minimum, let me write, must be greater than theta c. A minus theta c will be greater than theta c. A is equal to 2 greater than 2 theta. This is one. What is that? If angle of prism, if you maintain more than the critical angle of this medium, if angle of prism is greater than the 2 times of the critical angle of this medium, then this ray will not emerge out from the prism. Then this ray will not emerge out from the prism. That is what I am trying to tell. This R2 minimum must be greater than theta c. This will be the condition. What is the condition? Let me write. Very important condition this is. For no emergence, A will be equal to 2 theta. Second thing, I will extend this equation. This equation can be written as A by 2 into theta c. Take sign on both sides. Sin of A by 2 greater than sin of theta c. Sin of theta. Now sin of A by 2 is how much? Sin of A by 2. Sin of A by 2 is okay. What is that? Sin theta c is nothing but 1 by mu. Correct now? So I will not change anything. Sin of A by 2 will be greater than, this is 1 by mu. If this is 1 by mu, mu is equal to, mu is greater than 1 by sin of A by 2, or mu is greater than, right, mu is greater than cosecant A by 2. To find no emergence from the lens, from the prism, this angle must be greater than 2 times of theta c, and refractive index of the medium must be greater than cosecant of that A by 2, angle of the prism. These conditions has to be satisfied. Got it? See, one question is there. A ray of light passing through a prism having a refractive index mu is equal to root 2 suffers minimum deviation. It is found that the angle of incidence is double the angle of refraction within the prism. What is the angle of prism? So if you read this problem once again, so mu he has given how much? Root 2. Then suffers a minimum deviation. So whenever the light is passing, it suffers a minimum deviation. Means in this case, I1 will be equal to I2 which will be equal to R. R1 will be equal to R2 which will be equal to R. Correct? No? It is found that angle of incidence is double of angle of refraction. I is equal to 2R. Is giving you that result. Within the prism, what is the angle of prism? See, you know deviation is 2I minus A for minimum. For minimum condition, what is that? 2I minus A. So, what I must find? I must find A. So, I don't know A. Correct now? But I do know one relation. What is that? I is equal to 2R. I do know this. Yes or no? Now, see here. Again, I do know what is that? R is equal to A by 2. So, A is, what is that? R is equal to A by 2. A is equal to 2 by R. Correct? No? A is equal to 2 by R. Or I don't want that result. R is equal to A by 2 is more than enough. I am substituting here. So what will happen? I is equal to 2R means I is equal to 2 into A by 2. How much it is? I is equal to A. When I is equal to A, what is asking? Find A refractive index. When minimum deviation is there, A plus dou minimum divided by 2 whole divided by sine of A by 2. Here I is equal to A, so dou minimum will become how much? 2A minus A, that is A. So here A it becomes, so here mu is equal to what you will get? Sine of, this is A, this is A, 2A. So sine A divided by sine of A by 2 is equal to, got it now? Sine A divided by sine of A divided by 2. Or what you can write? See, now this expression has to be solved. If I want to solve A, you have studied in mathematics, you can use the mathematical techniques here. What is that? I will just try to write this formula as this is mu into sine of A by 2 is equal to 2 into sine of A by 2 into cos of A by 2. Got it now? Now mu is root 2 here. Is given in the question. Root 2 can be written as any familiarity? Check that. Any familiarity? What I can write? So any familiarity? See here. This root 2. This 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Once I can write this 2 as root 2 into root 2, 1 root 2 gets cancelled. I can write this as 1 by root 2 into sine of A by 2 will be equal to what? 1 root 2 and this one is getting cancelled. 1 root 2 was remaining here. I brought up here sine A by 2 into cos A by 2. Got it? Huh? Cos of A by 2 is equal to what? Cos of A by 2 is equal to 1 by root 2. So A by 2 is equal to cos inverse of how much? 1 by 2. When it is happening? When A by 2 is equal to, from here I will write here. From A by 2 will be equal to 45 degree or A is equal to 90 degree. A is equal to 90 degree. Got it? One more question we have. See here, there is a condition where a prism is there having an angle of prism 30 degree, I is equal to 60 degree, and another angle is given. The angle made by the emergent ray and incident ray is how much? 30 degree. What is the angle made by the incident ray and emergent ray? What is that? That is 30 degree. So the angle made by the incident ray and emergent ray is 30 degree, means this is the total deviation. Correct? No? Show that the emergent ray is perpendicular to the face through which it emerges and calculate the area of the material of the prism. You have to show that this is making perpendicular to this surface. That means I2 I must get answer 0. When I2 is 0, let us take this is R1. Here R2 also has to be 0. What is that? R2 must be also equal to 0. Got it now? R2 must be equal to 0. So let us find that. So these are the I must prove that these two are 0 or R2 is equal to 0. I must prove, because it is this emergent ray is perpendicular, means it is passing through the normal. How to prove? Let us find I2. To find I2, total deviation he has given. Total deviation is I1 plus I2 minus A. Why? He is not talking about minimum deviation. Since he is not talking about minimum deviation, mu is equal to sine of A plus B by 2. You cannot apply that. Got it now? So sine, this is dou is equal to I1 plus I2 minus A. Dou is 30. I1 is how much? 60 degree plus I2 minus 30. So I2 is how much? Equal to 0 degree. When I2 is equal to 0 degree, I2 is equal to 0 degree, R2 also will become 0. What we need to find? We need to find what is that? Mu now. What is mu? Area of the material. How to find? Mu is equal to sine of A plus D, A plus dou by 2 divided by sine of A by 2. Correct? This formula cannot be applied. This formula cannot be applied. Why? It is not a minimum deviation. So I will apply Snell's law on the first surface. If I take this is first surface, second surface, I will apply Snell's law on first surface. From Snell's law on surface 1. Snell's law on surface 1. How much? 1 into sin 60 is equal to mu into sin R1. So I don't know R1. I don't know what? R1. To find R1, how you are going to find R1? R1 can be found out. See here. From equation A is equal to R1 plus R2. A is how much? 30 degree. R2 is 0. So R1 is equal to A. How much? R1 is equal to 30 degree. So this equation will become mu is equal to sin 60 divided by sin 30. Sin 60 is root 3 by 2. Sin 30 is 1 by 2. So this will become root 3. Refractive index of the medium is root 3. A ray incident on another face at an angle 45 degree is refracted and reflected from the silver coat surface and retraces its path. What is the area of the prism? What is the area of the prism? See, one surface is silver. Now at an angle 45 degree, one light is incident such that after passing through the surface, it will retrace its path. If it is retracing its path, means what is this R2 angle? R2 will be equal to 0. R2 has to be equal to 0. R1 we can find. R1 is not given, but I1 is given how much? 45 degrees. What he is asking? Refractive index. So to find refractive index, let us take this is surface 1. Obviously another surface there is no refraction. So by Snell's law, mu I need to find. Snell's law, I can write, what is that? 1 into sine I1 will be equal to mu into sine R1. I don't know R1, but I do know I1. So I can find R1. How I can find? R2 is equal to 0. I is equal to R1 plus R2. So A is equal to R1 plus R2. So A is equal to R1 here. So what is the value of A? It is not given. What is the value of I1? It is not given. But what is that? One relation I came to know, A is equal to R1. So from this I think we can find some other way. Let's see what we can find. Area of incident of another face at an angle 45 degrees refracted and what is that? Reflected from the silver coating surface and retraces its path. What is the Ri of the medium? What is the Ri of the medium? Wait guys. Here I didn't give the angle A is equal to 30 degree. When A is equal to 30 degree, we can find now. It is given in the question. Okay? It is given in the question. A is how much? 30 degree. So A is equal to R1 means this R1 will become 30 degree now. Okay? So 30 degree. This becomes 30 degree. So mu is equal to, see I cannot use here sine of A plus dou minimum by 2 because that is only applied for minimum dou deviation. Here mu is equal to sine I1. Sine I1 is how much? Sine 45. Sine 45 divided by sine R1. That is sine 30. So sine 45 is 1 by root 2. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. So this will become how much? 2 by root 2, which will be equal to root 2. Which will be equal to root 2. See here, one right angle prism is there where angle of prism is 90 degree. One light is incident 45 degree. The emergent light is formed to slide along the face AC. If I take this is A, B and C, now you can understand what he is telling. Find the Ri of the material of the prism. See here, it passes like this. This will be R1. If I draw one normal, it is passing through what? IC. It will slide along the not IC face AC. The final ray will pass like this. This will be R2 if I take from the given condition in the question solution. R2 will be equal to theta C. Correct now? R2 will be equal to theta C. So we need to find mu. Mu we know. What is that? How to find mu? We know that sin theta C is equal to 1 by mu. If I find the value of theta C, I can find mu. But I must find for that what? Theta C I must find. How to find theta C? How to find theta C? Let's see. See here, the I1 is how much? 45 degree. So I1 is 45 degree. We can calculate A is given 90 degree. So A is equal to R1 plus R2. R2 is theta C, R1 is how much? He has not given. R1 also he has not given. Correct now? R1 he has not given. So A is equal to he has given 90. So I can write, one thing I can write here, R1 is not given now. 90 is equal to R1 plus theta C, or R1 I can write 90 minus theta C. Just I am writing like this, just for the sake, because to know R1, to find mu I have to find R1. Correct now? Or else, what I can find? I2 is how much? Deviation also not given. Or else I will do like this. What I will do? I will not do this. Theta C is equal to 90 minus R1. theta c is equal to 90 minus r1. Okay, got it? See here, theta d is equal to 90 minus r1. From this equation, what I need to find? See, I will take this equation. Sin theta c, I want to find sin theta c will be equal to sin of 90 minus r1, which will become what? Sin theta c will become cos r1. I don't know r1 again. So to find r1, I will apply Snell's law at AB. Snell's law on surface on AB. What you will get? If you apply, you will get 1 into sin 45 will be equal to mu into sin r1. Mu into sin r1. So here I can write here this one sin 45 is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 mu. Mu is equal to root of 1 minus cos square r1. What is the root of cos square r1? So I am going to rub this. At last, see here, I am going to rub this. Here I can write 1 by 2 mu square is equal to 1 by 2 mu square is equal to, what is that? 1 minus cos square r1. Sorry, correct. 1 minus cos square r1. So this one I can write cos square r1. Cos square r1 can be written as 1 minus 1 divided by 2 mu square. So if I take root, cos r1 is equal to how much? Root of 1 minus 1 divided by 2 mu square. Are you understanding? Correct. So if this is the case, cos r1 value I know. Sin theta c means what? Sin theta c means, what is that? Sin theta c is 1 by mu. So 1 by mu is equal to root of 1 minus 1 divided by 2 mu square. If I take root this side, what I am going to get? I am going to get it as, I am going to rub this. I am going to get 1 by mu square is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 mu square. This is 2 minus, or else I can write mu square is equal to 2 mu square minus 1 whole divided by 2 mu square. Mu square get cancels. 2 is equal to 2 mu square minus 1. Or I can write this one as, this side if I take minus 3. Correct now? This one I can write minus 3. Sorry, correct, minus 3. Mu square is equal to 3 by 2. Or mu is equal to root 3 by 2. Mu is equal to root 3. That is root of 1.5. Correct only. Dispersion of light. See, in dispersion of light, what is going to happen? What is the dispersion of light by a prism means? Dispersion by prism means the phenomenon of splitting of light takes place when it travels through the prism or of a different refractive index medium. Correct now? Splitting of light takes place when it travels from a vacuum to different type of refractive index of the medium. And this is another concept. Don't confuse this. Dispersion is going to happen because of refraction. Correct now? See here, how to analyze this? I said you in refraction. What is that? In the refraction, what is the difference between this one and this one and the refraction? Here in refraction, I was using only one monochromatic light. Monochromatic light means a light of single frequency. Here what I have written? White light. That means white light I have written because it is made up of many frequencies. It is made up of many frequencies. Got it now? So, in refraction, bending of light was happening, when bending of light was happening in the refraction process, in that phenomenon, bending of light, I used to take only one type of frequency. So it will not get slipped. That frequency will bend. One frequency of light will just bend as it is. Here, if I take a white light, so according to their frequencies, they are bending in a different manner. Because if you take this relation, V is equal to C lambda, when light are traveling, C is equal to F lambda, that is V is equal to F lambda, that's what? Speed of light in vacuum. Always, all the light rays, white light is coming from the sun to earth. They are all coming with speed of light, constant velocity. Then what is their difference? Their difference is they have different frequency and different wavelength. Now I said color factor is decided by frequency. You cannot change the color because it is decided by the sun source. If sunlight is coming from the sun. Correct now? Now lambda, what is happening is once that white light will be consisting of different frequencies. Obviously, for all of them speed of light is same in vacuum, so they have a different wavelength. Because it is having a different frequencies of light, they will be having different, what is that? Wavelength. Why? Because all of them are having same speed, that is speed of light. Once they come and enter into the medium, according to the difference in the lambda, if lambda is changing, the speed of light will be changing. This will be the case. If lambda is changing, speed of light in the medium will be changing. This has got different lambda, this has got different lambda, this has got different lambda. So, the speed of light is going to change for all the different colors for different frequencies. Correct now? Why different frequencies, speed is changing? Because to satisfy this condition. What is the condition? C is equal to F lambda. If F are different, lambda also has to be different to satisfy the value C. Got it now? So, according to their speeds, they are going to bend. So, you have written the bending most is taking place for V, and the bending lowest bending of light is taking for red light. So, this is the speed of light will be very less as compared to red light, because bending is more means speed of light will be less. All are in same medium. So, bending is less. Bending is more means speed of light of speed of light of violet light is less. When speed of light of violet light is less, lambda also has to be less. Wavelength will be less. Correct now? So here R is more. This is why in traffic signals, so danger light we use red light. Why? The red light have got greater wavelength. You can see the traveling of red light takes place very fast. Speed of light as compared to other colors. So we will take red light as a danger color. Immediately we can see that. Are you understanding? That is one point. So this is about this question. Why it is happening? And see here, refractive index of the medium decides the bending of light, speed of light. Correct? Now dispersion of the material and refractive index of the material doesn't need to be same. What I am trying to tell? If the medium is having high refractive index, don't think that this will be having highly dispersed light. The property of dispersion will be suffering from refractive index. Correct? But one thing you remember, since all the lights of frequencies are coming, each light are having different wavelengths, so different speeds, their bending takes place and they get separated. This is the basic concept of dispersion. So for thin prisms, if you want to measure deviation, correct? If you want to measure deviation, there is one term, what is that? We call angular dispersion. Before going to dispersion, I need to measure a deviation. If I extend this line, this is the incident ray, this is dou R, I can write deviation for red light, and this is, I can write dou Y. Dou Y is the deviation for yellow light, and this angle, what is that? This angle is dou V, the deviation for violet light. I can write it. Got it now? So that is nothing but deviation. For thin prism, dou is equal to mu minus 1 into A. Mu minus 1 into A. So, dou is changing mu minus 1 into A means I will be applying these formulas to these things. This formula I will be using for finding out the deviation, for thin prisms formula. Correct? Now, another term we have to learn, what is that? Angular dispersion. Angular dispersion. What is angular dispersion? How I am going to assume means, if I take one prism, this is white light. Now think that one ray will be going like this. This is the ray. This is one bending. This is the ray. This is the another bending. This is the another bending. Correct now? This is white light. This is yellow. This is yellow. This is violet. And this is red. So, if I extend this line, actually this line has to be like this. What is that? If I extend this line, sorry, what is this line? That line is for incident direction, incident light direction. This ray I call extreme. Extreme. This yellow light ray, because yellow light ray is midway between V and R, I will consider as this is mean color. These are extremes color, this is mean color. These are extremes color and these are mean color. I will consider only these three things. Using this thin prism formula, what I am going to do? Let's see. What I am going to do? See here what I am doing is, let us take this will be dou R and this will be dou Y and this angle will be, what is that? Dou V. This angle is dou V. Got it now? So I can write here, one thing I can write, what is that? Dou R is equal to mu R minus 1 into A. Dou Y, which is nothing but dou I call. I can write mu minus 1 into A. I want to find the deviation of white light. So I will take the yellow color light as mean deviation. Correct now? Dou V I will write it as mu V minus 1 into A. Only these three deviation I am going to consider, because this is the first one, this is the last one, this is the what is that? Around midpoint color. So I will take this deviation as mean deviation. That means where dou is nothing but what? Where dou we call it as mean deviation. Mean deviation. Got it now? Mean deviation, this is refractive index through Y. Means what? Refractive index of yellow light means what? You have not understood what is mu R, mu Y and mu V. Mu Y, mu R, mu V means, see here, if you look at this prism, the property of refractive index, the property of what is that? Dispersion. The property of refractive index and the property of dispersion, we cannot bring up relation between them very easily. Are you understanding? What I am trying to tell, if high refractive index is there, don't think that dispersing of light will be more for that type of material. There is a possibility, even though the material is very high refractive index, but its dispersive power will be less. Dispersive power, I will not bring the word. The capability of getting dispersion of light will be less. Are you understanding this? The capability or ability of getting dispersion will be less. So I cannot bring up the relation of high refractive index and not high refractive index and dispersing ability. I cannot say that whatever the material which has got high dispersing high refractive index, I cannot say they are having high dispersion capability. or this making a dispersion ability. I cannot say that we don't have that relation. That is why I am considering refractive index in red light. I will behave like, so I will make this material to behave like, what is that? Dou r is the deviation when refractive index of the red light means how much deviation is happening for red light, that is the refractive index for the medium. When I say mu y means the refractive index of the material is in such a manner, how much it is bent, for yellow light it is bending is taking place, that much is the refractive index of the medium. So this one I will consider mean deviation. Standard is this one. This one I can write it as mu minus 1. Mean one. This is mean. And this is for red. This is for violet. Since each one of them are bending, since of course this material has got refractive index mu. But one thing you observe, they are having different, it is acting like a different refractive index. They are bending in a different manner means each light is acting like a different refractive index. Of course, if you make an angle, if I draw one normal, for all of them angle of incidence is same. But angle of refraction for all of them at work surface is different. That means individual light is making different refractive index. In that three I have taken. One is for red light, one is for violet light, and one is for, what is that? Yellow light. This is the deviation for violet light. I don't know. Correct? Huh? So that is why mu is the refractive index of the material if how much red light is bending. Mu y is the refractive index of the material how much y is bending. Mu v is the refractive index of the material when violet light is bending. That is the material. Correct? Huh? So here what I use the word, this is the deviation. What is angular dispersion means? The angle between, if I extend this line, this white light I will observe. If I extend this line, this angle is what? Theta. Where this is I call theta. What is theta? Theta is the angle between dou v minus dou r. Dou v minus dou r is nothing but angular dispersion. Are you understanding? What is that? Angular dispersion is given by, what is that, where I can write? 1 minute, I will bring chart. So this is the deviation, extreme deviation I call. I told you, correct now? So I can write here, from this, I can write theta is equal to dou v minus dou r. Dou v minus dou r. So dou v minus dou r is angular dispersion. You can find for other ways also. So theta is mu v minus 1 into a, where a is the angle of the prism. A is the angle of the prism. Minus mu r minus 1 into a. So this will become theta is equal to mu v minus mu r into a. This is called angular dispersion. What is that? This is called angular dispersion. Then another word we have. What is that? This is angular dispersion. I have written that. Correct now? Where theta is angular dispersion. Total angular dispersion. Dou v minus dou r. This statement you remember, this statement you remember, this one you remember. Next, I am going to rub this. Here only I will rub this. Another word we have, what is that? Dispersive power. Here dispersive power means what it tells you? It tells you ability of the medium of the medium to disperse light. Got it, na? Ability of the medium to disperse light. Ability of the medium to disperse light. Got it, na? So it is given by omega is equal to angular dispersion divided by mean deviation. Angular dispersion divided by mean deviation. So omega is equal to angular dispersion divided by mean deviation. What is that? Theta divided by dou. Theta is dou v minus dou r divided by dou. From the given dou is the mean deviation. I have taken for yellow. Yellow deviation is the mean deviation. Correct, no? This one here, you know dou v is equal to mu v minus 1 into a, and dou r is equal to mu r minus 1 into a, and dou is equal to mu minus 1 into a, which is the mean refractive index of the medium. Correct, now? So I can write this in omega is equal to, if you substitute all these values here, what is remaining for this angular, this one, we know that mu v minus mu r into a divided by mu minus 1 into a. Correct, now? That is mu v minus mu r divided by mu minus 1. This is the dispersive power of the medium. See here, achromatic combination of prism, deviation without dispersion. What do you mean by this? If you ask me, I will combine two prisms. This one will be of crown glass. This one will be of flint glass. I will combine these two. This is the A here. This is the A dash. What is that? A is the angle of the prism for this A. For A dash is for flint glass. Usually, this glass, flint glass, will be having high dispersive power. So, what is the condition I am telling? Deviation without dispersion. When light enters to this prism, dispersion takes place after passing through this, to this light. After passing, let's say it is passing light, what happens? The light comes from the prism. How much deviation will happen? I cannot say this light is parallel to this light. Let me write like this. Correct, no? This light is not parallel to this light, but if I combine two prisms in such a manner, what is that? Deviation without dispersion. After coming from these two combinations, light will be again, what is that? Of a single light. Light will be not dispersed. It is of single light. Now I will try to measure angular dispersion for this case and for this case. In case of crown glass, what is that? In case of crown glass, I can write theta 1. I can write, what is that? Theta 1. Let us take theta. Theta can be written as dou v minus dou r into a. This is the angular dispersion for this one. In case for flint glass, angular dispersion theta dash, let us take, it is, sorry, this is not dou v minus dou r. Correct only? Dou v minus dou r, which will be equal to mu dash v minus mu r, mu v minus mu r into a. Mu v minus mu r into a. Theta dash will be dou dash v minus dou dash r. Deviation of violet light in prism, second prism. Correct now? Which will be equal to, what is that? Mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash. Yes or no? This is the value of angular dispersion which is happening for achromatic. What is that? For achromatic combination, the net dispersion due to together must be equal to 0. Correct? No? For achromatic combination, what is that? Achromatic combination means the net dispersion, angular dispersion. The net angular dispersion, deviation will be there. I am not talking about deviation, I am talking about dispersion. So the net dispersion of the combination has to be, that is theta plus theta dash must be equal to 0. Complete dispersion must be equal to 0. There is no dispersion at all. Yes or no? Correct now? Where I can write? I will write there. Just see, let's find where I can write. I will write here. That means, what is theta? Theta is mu v minus mu r into a plus mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash must be equal to 0. Correct? No? Or a is equal to, or a dash. Let's find a or a dash. Let us find a dash. I think a dash is equal to, a dash is equal to minus of, a dash is equal to minus of mu v minus mu r divided by mu dash v minus mu dash r into a. This condition I call it as achromatism. This condition I call it as achromatism. Okay? Even you can bring up the relation for dispersive power. What is the dispersive power? Dispersive power for all of them mean deviation will be there. Dispersive power for this I can write this one. For this equation I can write what? Mu v minus mu r into a divided by mu minus 1 into mu minus 1 plus mu dash v plus mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash into mu dash minus 1 divided by mu dash minus 1 will be equal to 0. Will be equal to 0. I just multiplied mu minus 1 here. I just multiplied mu dash minus 1. What is this? This is nothing but omega, dispersive power. What is this then? This is nothing but deviation, mean deviation. This is a mean deviation. This is dispersive power. So omega dou will be equal to omega dash dou dash. This is also one of the fantastic relation we have. This is about combination when there is no dispersion but deviation. Sorry, I forget to write 0. So this minus sign has to come here. I mean a little bit urgent maybe for that. Dispersion without deviation. Dispersion without deviation means one crown glass and one flint glass. Here angle of prism I am connecting opposite side and I am combining them. This is angle refractive index mu. This is mu dash. One white light this side. What happens here in this combination? Dispersion is going to take place but deviation will not take place. The white light, whatever the direction is coming, This also has to come with the same direction. So for this, what are the conditions? I can write the mean deviation for two prisms. The mean deviation for two prisms. What is that? For this prism I can write dou is equal to mu minus 1 into A. For second prism flint glass I will use dou dash. Dou dash is equal to mu dash minus 1 into A. What is the condition? Dispersion, deviation, final deviation, total deviation, what it must be? The condition is, in this combination, deviation is 0. So, the total deviation due to both of them must be equal to 0. When this will be equal to 0, mu minus 1 into A plus mu dash minus 1 into A dash will be equal to 0. Or A dash will be equal to minus mu minus 1 into A divided by mu dash minus 1 into A. Mu dash minus 1. So this is the angle of prism of second prism with respect to first prism. This condition we call condition of dispersion without deviation. Dispersion without deviation. Dispersion without deviation. Next, let us calculate what is the dispersion. What is the angular dispersion, total net dispersion due to this? For that, what I will calculate? I am going to rub this. The net dispersion for this combination will be how much? Theta net, theta minus theta dash. Why theta minus theta dash? In previous case, deviation I did 0, I calculated. Here, achromatic I calculated deviation, dispersion was not there. Here, I am making net dispersion. Why it's here? The angle of prisms are kept opposite. If this prism is producing violet light here, red light here, after dispersion through this prism, red light will produce here, violet light will produce here, red light will produce here. Since they are in opposite direction, so I am going to write theta minus theta dash. Otherwise, I could have added to what is the net dispersion. Since they are forming in opposite direction, this one whipjaw will be like this, means here it will be whipjaw will be from up to down. Here down to up means from up to down. So the net dispersion will be theta minus theta dash, where theta is the dispersion of the prism, crown prism, and theta dash is the dispersion of flint prism, flint glass prism. So let us find theta dash. Theta. So theta is equal to dou v minus dou r. Correct now? Theta dash is equal to dou dash v minus dou r. What is dou v here? Dou v will be equal to, what is that? Mu v minus 1 into A minus mu r minus 1 into A. Here mu dash v minus 1 into A dash minus mu r dash minus 1 into A dash. Correct, no? This will be the case. Yes or no? So if you solve them, theta you will get how much? Theta you are going to get how much? Theta you are going to get mu v minus mu r into A. Theta dash you are going to get mu v minus mu dash r. Mu dash v minus mu dash r into A dash. Got it, no? Mu dash v minus mu dash r into A dash. Now theta net. Theta net is equal to theta minus theta dash. theta at minus theta dash. What is theta? Theta is equal to mu v minus mu r. Mu v minus mu r into a. How much? Mu v minus mu r into a minus mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash. What is that? So I am going to rub this side. The net dispersion we are going to find. The net dispersion. What is that net dispersion? Mu v minus mu r into a, mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash. Correct now? So the net dispersion for this will be what I can write? See here, I can write. This is one expression. This is one expression. I can write still mu v minus mu r divided by mu minus 1 into a into minus mu minus 1 minus mu dash v minus mu dash r into this minus mu dash v minus mu dash r into a dash whole divided by mu dash minus 1 into mu dash minus 1. So I can write theta net. What is this? Omega. This is dou minus omega dash dou. This is the expression for what? This is the expression for dispersion without deviation. This is what I was trying to find. This is what I was trying to find. Even you can write in terms of refractive index. No problem. What now?